This is gonna be a little awkward. So today we're looking at the #1 Mr. Fantastic. These codes were pulled 2 or 3 days ago, and in that time, the leaderboard has shifted quite significantly. The person we're gonna be looking at here is Quackly. In that time, they dropped from #1 to #7. So not gonna lie, hey buddy, you gotta pick up the slack a little bit. Can't be letting this happen in the future. Luckily for you, I'm lazy as shit, and I'm not gonna have Retro go back to finding other people. Also, fun fact, apparently, according to Rivals Tracker, again, I don't fully trust Rivals Tracker because its data on like rank progression thing was wildly wrong. But according to this, Mr. Fantastic is the 3rd highest win rate character in the game, which is kind of nuts. Storm is somehow #1. Still, don't make no sense in that department, but hey, sure. You know, you might be wondering, why are you watching Fantastic again? You've already watched Fantastic. Yeah, Mr. Fantastic has gotten some crazy changes since the last time. When I spectated him, he was kind of shit, and now, in my opinion, he's really pretty goddamn fantastic! Yeah, if you saw their stats there, I kind of glanced over it really quick because I didn't want to highlight it yet. They had a lot of kills. Guys, that's just f***ing embarrassing. Almost 6 months into Marvel Rivals in a pretty high top 500 lobby, and you guys just got teleported off the map at spawn. So he puts it like facing down, literally on the edge of the skybox, so they don't even have any time to jump back up. That's actually gross. Oh my, guys, what are we doing? What are we doing? The timing is incredible. The timing was pretty good, but like, brains were definitely turned off leaving the spawn room there. All right, so if we remember anything from our last Mr. Fantastic, basically the entire kit seems to revolve around using the shift. If you have your shift, you are unkillable. If you have no shift, you're cancels the big form manually. Actually going for a flank here.
Peter, I'm sorry.
Goes to... That was interesting. What is the decision making on this? I have no idea. I actually don't, I could not tell you what's going through their brain here. So they grab one of the clones, they smack them against the other, the real Loki, and then it just hits him once, just gives him a little smack on the head, and then leaves. Doesn't commit for him. Maybe it's because it's too dangerous to commit. Cancels the big form again. Just constantly cancels the big form.
There they are.
This is the most I've seen anyone use the slap them together move. A lot of times it's just like the double, then you give them a little hello there. Yep, that right there. I'm trying to proc Immortal. What do you mean proc Immortal? There is no Immortal on. Well, I mean, let's shumble the shift, but you don't have to proc that. You talking about the big form? Because that's not, you don't proc that, or that's not Immortal. Constantly actually cancels it. It's like as if he doesn't actually like using the big form. Like the big form is, you know, now that I think about it, they did buff his normal left click damage. So I wonder if the big form's like not worth it most of the time. Like right now it is because they're sitting in Luna ult, and so he gets big damage in. I think he used the shift there to keep from getting hit by the Strange ult. But yeah, doesn't actually like using the big form. That's very, I wonder if that's a trend that's gonna continue through the entire game, or was it just because the first point is like a very choke heavy point? Not useful in range? Well, a lot of those fights, it was close enough to still, hold up. Do the destructible environments give you charge? Oh, he right clicked it. Oh, okay, never mind. I didn't realize it was a right click. Wait, so he triggers the big form to then reset the small form? What? So he really does, he just doesn't want to use it. You get a speed boost in big form, you're more mobile. Yeah, but like, I'm watching this guy deliberately try to get rid of it most of the time. It's like right there again. He's actually playing like, almost like dive, going in backline, and then pops ults for it. chases down the Loki. Finally actually gets on the Loki for the... He's gonna chase the Loki, right? Okay, so he does chase down the Loki. That's the first time he's actually stayed on their backline. Most of the time he goes in, like pokes them really quick and then leaves. I wonder if he's just trying to force a cooldown, see if they'll like use the green or use like teleport or something like that, or change locations, and then uses that to go back in again later. That's the only thing I could think of on that. Dances big form again. I'm guessing because they were out of range on that one at least. Pop shift. See, whenever, yeah, and that is definitely not changed. Whenever you don't have your shift on Mr. Fantastic, you're pretty much cooked. You have to play super safe. I actually was wondering why I did pop shift there. Maybe it was just because, like, there was going to be a lot of damage around that corner. Was hoping everybody would swing with him. Regardless. Pops the shift. Actually, probably doesn't even want to get bubbled there. Cancels the big form again. Wow. I wonder if this is like the new thing, where like, is the big form just considered like a nerf? Like it's bad to be in it. Goes for ult. Actually gets the Magneto. What the f? Has all his cooldown, so he can play backline here and be fine. Holy shit. I didn't even realize there how fast he made the decision to start playing more aggressive and going in. I don't even think they realized it, because he got the kill on the Magneto, forces a support ult, and still gets multiple kills. You know what's funny? I just read someone in chat said big form is really good for killing isolated targets. In your big form front line, you pop like a balloon. Are you a Mr. Fantastic player? Because you called that. This mag goes in deep with his ult, and he punishes him with a big form.
By the eye of Agamotto.
Pops the shift to dodge the strange ult. I think if you had to get good at one thing, it's probably just getting good at using the shift every time. Chases down the strange and the silent. Dude, it actually does a ridiculous amount of damage though, which makes me so surprised to see it not being used as often. I think he just gets rolled there, unfortunately. He had the shift still online, but this Spider-Man just pulled the Magneto off the map. What is it with Spider-Mans on this map? For some reason, they're just obsessed with trying to pull people off the map.
Long way down. Plasma, take cover. We got a sniper.
Yep. He just sits here waiting. Oh wait, no, that was before. Wait, that was after he got the kill. Wait, I backed up though. Wait a minute, I went back 10 seconds, swapped to this guy's POV, and we were somehow 30 seconds in the future. How the f does that work? Yo, this replay viewer is confusing as shit. It just, I swear it doesn't work 90% of the time. That's what I was looking for. Is it actually called Big Form, or is that a community name? It probably has a specialized name, man. I just don't remember it off the top of my head. If I say Big Form, you know exactly what I mean, though. So, you know what's funny? A lot of people always say to me whenever I talk about Mr. Fantastic, is like, you know, he's like a DPS tank, right? He's like a hybrid between the two, right? And it's not technically wrong, but at least watching the way this guy plays him, I don't feel like he is. I feel like they're actually playing him way more like a DPS than actually tanking. Gets ults. I don't know if he's gonna get him. Did you actually get that guy? Starting with an ult, you're not gonna get anything. And what I mean by that is, like, it goes like almost like how dive DPS do. You go in, you poke their backline a little bit, try to force a cooldown or two, and then jump back out. And he very rarely is even fighting their tanks. Like, only time it ever has happened is if they're isolated by themselves in deep. Dude, those left clicks actually do so much damage now. So another small thing, we talked about this in the previous Mr. Fantastic one, but in case you just never saw that, the way Mr. Fantastic's big or arms work, basically the hitbox lingers with like your camera. So if like the arm is extended, you can swing it back and forth and hit multiple people. So in this one swing, he kills the Psylocke and is able to hit the Loki all in one motion, just by swinging his mouth very quickly. It seemed like before, the old Mr. Fantastic, is you did play him as like this pseudo off-tank hybrid, where you like were almost like a mini tank that kind of frontlined, but that doesn't seem to be the case anymore. I don't know. Can you do this? Can you actually walk your way back up here by walking across all this? I feel like if they had an extra second or two, they might have been able to, but... Goes in and gets a lot of damage here. Is he gonna get the big form and then cancel it? Actually goes for a couple swings, then cancels it and backs away. Mostly probably because they're in their spawn, you don't want the big hitbox there, but... It is so interesting to watch how often it gets canceled. Watching this makes me realize how cool of a character design he is. I agree, but part of me is a little concerned. I think a lot of these characters are cool, but I think when they become strong for a long time, people get really upset against fighting it. Right now, the focus is on like the Spider-Mans and like the really annoying dive, right? But like, I think the thing that's lurking behind that door number 2 is like your Captain Americas, your Iron Fist, your Mr. Fantastics that are like extremely giga tanky and kind of in your face, and you can't really do a whole lot about them until they run out of buttons. Which is cool, but like when they're really, really strong, I think these types of characters are the ones that get people the most angry long term. We'll see if that actually ends up being true, though. That's just more of like my little feeling at the moment, while everyone's kind of up in arms about a lot of other things at the moment. But it's cool that the meta's changed so much this season. It's nice to see a character like Mr. Fantastic be strong, who previously hasn't been. But I'm wondering if people are going to continue to be happy about that. You know? Doesn't have his shift. 1 second. Oh! So the big form actually doesn't help him at all there. So this is probably a good glimpse of why they constantly try to cancel the big form. Is because even though he gets 400 health, he just explodes. Damn, doesn't even try to help the Luna. That's f***ed up. You could have given her some shields. That's evil. Yeah, you deserve that. Good, the Luna can die. They're gonna come for you. That's why their supports are on strike. I would never say something like that.
You have my gratitude.
Interesting play from there, Fantastic. I mean, he gets the kill, but I don't think trading is worth. Like, the amount of f***ers who do not understand that trading for kills is not worth it most of the time is crazy. Trading for the Luna kill there, specifically in this instance, not really worth it. Why was it not worth it? They don't have ults. They ulted the previous fight, and they have their Loki for the other ult, so they're fine. They're gonna be cool. I can't tell you how often I have people int in my games or other games or whatever. They run it down for a single kill, and they might be like, holy shit, that was worth it. No, you didn't have to though, right? Like, you could have got that kill without dying, and you didn't have to commit for it. You didn't have to commit ults. You didn't have to commit all your life, all this other things. And it happens a lot. It happens a lot. But what can I say if I say worth after I int? Okay, there's a real distinct difference between you trying to go for something and the best thing that happens, right, is like you get a kill and you die for it. You probably f***ed up in that instance, or they made a good play. Taking the trade, potentially worth. There's nothing wrong with saying worth. I'm only speaking objectively about the people who only play off of that, right? Like, they play extremely aggressive for kills, and then if they get the trade kill, they're like, that was the correct play. And it's like, well, no, the trade can be worth. It's like, okay, I tried something else. I tried to make a play. It didn't work out the way, but I did get a kill at the end, so it wasn't worst case scenario. It didn't end up me going in and dying without getting anything. That can be a situation where it's like, okay, worth. There's a difference between that, though, and playing for trades, right? And there's a lot of people who play so aggressive that they constantly want to get trades. From the top rope, Jumps their backline with a, what the fuck? That was evil. Maggled and fantastic soul ulting that poor defenseless Mantis. Big hit on the shift. Actually dives their backline. He's gonna die for that, but takes the 2-for-1 trade. Gets the Mantis and gets the cloak. But you think he was probably dead there because their whole team was dying? So this is actually one of those times where taking the trade is actually worth, because there was no escape. There is no escape. You're deep in their backline. Your team has lost the fight. They're all leaving. This is a time where you go, I'm going all the way in, which is the right call. And they actually do use the big form there to get a little extra damage, a little extra survivability. They play Mr. Fantastic almost like a dive hero. Is that crazy to say? They play it more like a dive hero than a tank. Lunal comes in for the save. Gets slept. So I think because Luna ults up, they're going to be fine with going with a big bit of damage here in the big form. But as Luna ult ends, they cancel it early. Goes back on Mantis again. This Mantis really can't do a whole lot either. Gets big form. Perfect timing actually for the Hulk. The Hulk exile ends at the exact time that the swing comes out, gets a kill off of it, and kills the Mantis, and then cancels it right after. So it actually, the more I've watched, I feel like they use the big form only to finish off targets. Like, it just happens to be like they're going in, they're looking to get a kill on somebody. They'll let the big form give them the extra damage and the extra sustain just to finish off one person, and then they cancel it right away. Okay. Also, can I just say how cool it is to see like multiple games where it's like Mr. Fantastic or Mr. Fantastic, all things considered last season. Cancels the big form. Good thing he canceled it right away. Is he gonna survive? He gets out. Uses both his E's to get out. Pokes at the Star-Lord. More people need to do this, by the way. When there's a Star-Lord ulting, dude, look up and shoot the Star-Lord. I know he's hard to hit. I know his rolls are really annoying. But going for the shots on him, if everyone's doing it, actually is really good. Another thing, break goddamn rocket ults. So the Mr. Fantastic going there gets big damage on everyone, but also helps break the rocket ult. And everyone ends up getting the kills because you committed on the rocket ult. Commits really hard here for the Widow. Is this actually worth? I don't know if this is worth. Has the shift though. Whole team has come out to help. Dude, my guy, you are deep. That might have been a little too much. I don't know if I would have committed that hard for that. I think that's one of those cases where it's like, I got a kill worth. I don't think a single trade like that's totally worth. Also, the Spider-Man comes back and gets the late Widow. That's f***ed up. Maybe she was annoying him. I mean, sometimes you just send it, right? Sometimes you just go, F it, I'm deep, I'm going all in. It happens. Ooh. Dude, that Wolverine got him off the map. I think some potential tilt kicks in. At least it would have tilted me. The Luna gets mag ulted. So they're probably just going to play to stall for a little bit and then die card, I'm assuming. Yeah. So my guess here is they're going to try to get under this archway and just bounce really hard. Doesn't get caught by the Wolverine, which is very lucky. Actually goes for the big form damage. I haven't seen them do this too much. Does the force maybe a cooldown? I don't know. Goes backline, doesn't actually go for the archway, gets the rocket, and gets the Mantis. They're constantly just harassing their backline. Maybe because, I mean, this whole season kind of revolves around harassing backlines. But nothing too flashy. Maybe the reason why people are having so much success with Mr. Fantastic this season is they're playing him almost like a backline dive character. I mean, look at these numbers at the end. Again, numbers don't mean anything, right? But there's Spider-Man, who's 29 and 15. God, Spider-Man stats are always just wild. 11k damage. But he's actually the bulk of his entire team's damage here. Out damaging the enemy Star-Lord too, with 30,000. Tons of damage blocked as well, because he's playing a character that's can frontline and be tankier, even though he doesn't really use it that much, but can do it. And ends up with 40 limbs. Probably got crazy points for this game. Actually, I wonder if Mr. Fantastic is one of those characters that gets you a ton of points if you win. Yo, hey, this guy came to my chat and bragged about how his profile was open and to spectate him. Motherfucker, your profile ain't open? Rankings change a lot, but there you go. There's your number one, parentheses, quote unquote, Mr. Fantastic.